I'm so happy to return and be back at the Shala and back teaching my Sunday Dharma talks. We are starting a new semester this week. It is going to be the history and the science of yoga. And I chose this because in the last semester, I kept find myself saying, this isn't something I made up. This is a lineage. This is passed on from teacher to student, parampara. And this week I want to say as well, like this yoga is very, very old. And so we began with the history of yoga and looking at really some people believing that yoga began with the first civilization of humans, and we can really trace back, at least with our yoga texts of the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads, the Rig Veda, the sutras, that this practice of yoga is thousands of years old. And what is beautiful about this practice of yoga is that it has always been passed on from teacher to student and from teacher to student. And we use the word parampara for lineage, but this lineage of yoga is thousands of years old. And one of the things that was really important for me in this semester to begin with is to really say to you, the student, the sadhaka, that you found this practice, the sadhana, and that it was given to you. And it was given to you by a teacher. And that teacher was given this practice. And so that you have it today is such a gift. And when we think about what we're doing, I think sometimes we get a little over-focused on the asana. But when we look at the breath, the moving meditation, the wisdom of the asanas and how they not only serve our body, but serve our mental health, our energy, our energetic health, we realize that there's this wisdom that is just, it's so basic that human beings hundreds and thousands of years ago were using the same system to stay healthy. And so I had a couple takeaways from our teaching on Sunday, and I just want to share 3 of the takeaways with you when we think about, looking at this from an academic standpoint, like understanding the history of yoga and where it began in India, and all that stuff is good. But to me, what's more important is how it touches your life and how it inspires you to want to keep doing this practice and to use this practice as medicine. And so the first point that I made on Sunday was that this is a spiritual discipline. If you study the history of yoga, the one thing we understand without religion, it is a spiritual discipline. So anyone on this path is looking to grow spiritually. The second point that I wanted to make through understanding the history of yoga is that this touches, it's said when you read different texts that this is a practice to healthy living. And I really love that because, it's so simple to say this is a practice of healthy living, but it really is something that I say every week. I think when I teach the practice, I say, this is the one thing that you do that's supposed to touch the other 22 hours of your life. That is how you live. And this practice, this spiritual discipline, is meant to affect the way you are in your own mind, your thoughts. It's meant to affect your sleep. It's meant to affect your actions, how you are as a mother, a father, a daughter, a friend. It's a teacher. It's meant to touch every aspect of our life. So I think that's a very beautiful part of the history of yoga. And then the third piece that I shared this Sunday is that it's meant to be the path to self-realization. And I know that sounds like a really big thing, but if we think about that, what is that? It's my path to self-realization. I would say it's my path to svadhyaya, my path to getting close to myself, to knowing myself. Socrates, know thyself. And in that path to self-realization is moksha, is our liberation. Our ability to liberate ourselves from our own suffering, from the world's suffering, to navigate our way through. So I wanted to take these 3 points from the Dharma talk on Sunday and really gift these to you and say, you have this practice. It was given to you. It was passed on and passed on for many years. It's withstood the test of time so that you would have it today, so that it would be your practice, your medicine, your way of navigating your way through this one wild, precious life.